Alright, so here today we got some fun topics that I wanted to hop into. First one being a brand new event buff has kicked up. Remember, you know what the entire event looks like because you saw the initial data download. You had all the information of what the event contains. It looks like the devs have afterwards put out a data download and buffed up some parts of the events. I'm going to show that to you just so you know what the rewards are and how they've changed. If you want to partake in them, if you originally saw them, they sucked. Maybe now they're better. On top of that, we have a brand new JP tier list for the strongest cards in the game. We're going to talk about that as well. New to the channel, like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. If you want to enter the giveaway, comment down below Giratina. Be subscribed. Another winner next video. Let's hop into things. So we're going to start over here just so you know what it was before, then I'll go into the after. Chimchar and Togepi Wonder Pick event. This was the original data mined event. That's why always data mines can change in the future. That's kind of how things work here. But when this was first data mined, the things that we obtained was this information. Mission event Chimchar Togepi Part 1. Okay, we do not have Part 2 yet, nor yet do we have the knowledge of what Part 2 contains. We have to wait for all the leakers to go and update that information. So maybe by tomorrow we know that information updated, but we only have Part 1 here to look at, and they have officially buffed Part 1. Originally, Part 1 only contained a whopping 16. You heard me right, a whopping 16 trade tokens. That was the original plan for the devs to give you during this initial event. They have now changed that to a different amount, and I'm going to show you that in a second here. That's what it was originally. Still originally, I'm now going to have this, as a video, so you can always come back to this if you want to see what it was before, but we'll see the new one afterwards. The original one for Part 2, which this is still the original one, they have not updated this yet, 3, 6, 10, and 15. Basically, you're not really picking up that much trade currency here. It costs 500 for a max trade, and this is how much they provided you. But now, they've changed it. Part 1, remember, contains 16. It now contains, drumroll please, it now contains a whopping 100 for wonder picking 3 times. That is the brand new adjustment they have made over here. Instead of it's 16, they've now changed it to 100. That means that if this was only 16 being changed, the next one was about 50 or 60. And if you're wondering what it changed to, I actually now have an answer. I went scouring and I tried finding other sites that have updated this information. Sadly, most sites haven't checked into the game since the last did download, but one post talked about it, and they're saying on the CN side that it looks like this event has been buffed up 2 times. It's been buffed up in the first part, that first part being what I just showed you, 100 tokens. In the second part, instead of putting it in 20 different missions, they're putting it in one singular mission, and they are providing you a whopping, drumroll please, 100. So a total of 200 trade tokens versus the initial whatever measly 16 in the first one, and then 60 total in the second one. You're getting a buff of maybe 130, 140 additional trade tokens, and that is the new response, if you were to say. On that same post, they did not refer to any other future event of this season being buffed up. This is only the buff that we currently have. Maybe in the future, as we get closer to those events, they put out another data download adding that in. But as of right now, to make this a fact, just so we know, none of them look to be updated. The other currencies they're giving you in those events will be Shine Dust and Wonder Hourglasses. Nothing has been replaced that I could see. But again, I don't know if I have that information yet, if CN or whatever, if they found that, or if it's even been added in yet. I don't know for sure, but this is confirmed. 200 total from this event. Now, WL, let me know your opinion. So basically, if we have 4 events a season, then maybe you get 1 trade a season. 1 trade every 45 days. Yeah. I don't know about that one, Chief. So hopping over here, Game with JP has officially updated the strongest card section of the site here. For those asking for the link, you just have to search Game with JP Pokemon. I'll try to open up my Discord to leave all the important links there. Sometimes linking to a JP site through YT just causes a little bit of issue. So I'll try my best to get it in the description or pinned comment if I can, because again, of just how it operates with the channel. I'll try to open up my Discord and then just leave the link there. And then all the important links that I want you to read into that helps you, I'll try to leave them together there. But just sometimes linking to a JP site is just a little problematic over here. But this is it over here. They've officially updated. If you don't know the site, it's very big for a lot of gachas, Dokkan, Genshin, Honkai. I said this in my last video if you watched it. It's just a very, very big site, and they do a lot of testing. They do a lot of breakdowns, and they went through, after everyone tested on the JP side, they compiled all the information and made this side over here showing you what they think of the top Pokemon cards and the top decks. So far, one of my top deck videos said it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So can they say the same thing for the strongest card section? Let me know. Let me know. So here we go. And I did confirm this information. It doesn't look like they rate it left to right. If they consider a card there, they just consider the card there. As in, if Palkia is there, Palkia is SS. No doubt about that. If Exeggutor is there, he's SS. No doubt about that. Don't read it left to right. Just read it as they're on there, they're together there. That's it. So that's kind of how they like to say it, if you were to say. But yeah, let's go through it. First things first, they have Palkia over here. They got Darkrai, Gyarados, Exeggutor. Any opinions against that? We talked about the initial decks here. Manaphy is required to be with Palkia, so obviously that's the deck created from there. Magnezone is with, you know, whoever you want to make him with, right? Magnezone being a very beefy card here, and that's always the deck part of it, but in just innate cards being by themselves with, hey, if I pull Darkrai, do I start, you know, using Darkrai? This is how they're organizing that information, but that's what they say for the SS tier. For the S tier, they got Dialga over here, Weevil, Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo, Celebi, Articuno, Infernape, Moltres. We then have the rare cards. We have Superior, Manaphy, Gardevoir. They put Magnezone and Druddigon pretty low, even though they are like not the main of the deck, but they are the highlight. Can't say that they're not, right? And then they have Greninja over here as well. This is what they're classifying as SS tier to S tier. They're classifying A tier with Pachirisu, Yanmega, Starmie, Mew, everyone's top pick originally. They all said this is going to break the meta, and then that never happened. Vaporeon, Marshadow, another one. This deck over here has been very fun to run. They obviously aren't rating this card very high as it stands on its own, but this deck has actually become really cool. I want to do a deck video on this one, like just to show you what it looks like, because I've had the greatest matches with this one. Yeah, that's just my take. Garchomp, Lucario, what is it? Electabuzz, Hitmonlee, right? Hitmonlee, yeah? Hitmonchamp? No, Hitmonlee, yeah. Over here we have Luxray, Skarmory, and then Weezing. Then for the B tier cards, a lot of cards over here in B tier, just so you know, and this is their final tier, so everyone's aware. They do put a bunch of the picks that you may have wanted. Sadly, Gallade falls in here. Blastoise, Zapdos, Pidgeot, Machamp. Over here we have, they call it Windy, which it's Arcanine, by the way. Lickitung, some of the translations are obviously like that, so just know that now. But from the newer set, let's go into these. Miss Magus over here, definitely dropping. Definitely not considered a top card. Electivire, sadly, over here. They didn't even bother to rate Cresselia. Is that actually the case? No, they did not rate Cresselia. Dragonite over here, a certain Porygon came after him. A lot of other, again, cards from the newest set here that ended up being rated, but they don't rate them pretty high. Togekiss also rated pretty low. I know that a lot of people will say Magnezone is like the best card in the game now, so I wonder. They don't consider it the best card in the game. They consider it mainly just falling on the S tier, so I'm wondering if you think that's factual or not. I will say, though, from my experience here, you know, I do think that the Darkrai deck, like put it together with the Druddigon and everything, I don't know, man. It's one of the most annoying decks in the game. People consider it like the power creep in this game is just way too much when it comes to that deck specifically. So that deck has caused all the issues, if you were to look at it. This is the formation of the Darkrai deck with Druddigon and Magnezone. This deck is just like, it's like toxicity at a whole nother level, right? But then you have to remember also, not like just this, you have decks like Gyarados that kind of do a lot. You have decks like Palkia that kind of do a lot here. So I know that people are like saying that whole point of, oh, the game got power creeped hardcore because of these cards and such. So I really wonder what your take is on those things. But I will say that each meta is going to be different. Each meta is going to be possibly annoying. Each meta is going to be, you know, either good. What I can say as a glimmer of hope here, a little bit of a glimmer of hope, is that on the 28th, a whole new meta is going to be crafted very quickly. So if you hate the Darkrai meta, high chance Darkrai either falls out of meta or just drops a little bit and be less played because of what comes out soon. Just remember, this is a technically accelerated release here, so obviously whatever meta's here might have fallen off or falls off a bit quicker just because of that. But if you don't like the meta on February 28th, at that point when the meta starts, if you don't like it then, you're screwed. Because for 60 days, nothing's changing that meta. That meta's stuck in the game for 60 days, for 2 months. Every day you log in for 2 months, you're encountering that meta. Whatever it is, that's the meta, all right? Because there is no set, no anything releasing for that long, so... as of yet, that's where it stands. Palkia, Darkrai, Gyarados, Exeggutor, the kind of big four, not the top three, big three, whatever, big four over there. Beyond that, you do have some really good pickups here, but it is kind of cool to see the Genetic Apex cards at least last a bit, if you were to look at it. Yes, no one of the Genetic Apex cards are, well, I mean, he is, right? No, am I wrong here? No, this is Genetic Apex, right? All right, boys, I'm gonna stand on that hill and butcher it now. I'm pretty sure this is Genetic Apex, right? And I'm pretty sure that this card still remains, so can't say much there. They don't consider this card like great on its own. Great in a deck here, but they do consider it great on its own. It has exceptional HP of 160 for a first stage evolution. It moves or its move that deals up to 80 damage with 1 energy is also strong. Its weakness is that it has a lot of energy for retreat. So that's the reason they give it all those points there. Just so you know. Yeah, strongest gene. So it is Genetic Apex. But yeah, I was just making sure. I don't want to get that wrong right now. And then I look real dumb. But at least one of them made it. You know, Mythical Island and then the new set. Power Cube's not that much, right? I guess. Okay, we'll go with that. Take care, have fun. It's been the video. If you're wondering what the strongest cards, this is what JP rates to be the strongest cards in the game. Take a look, like it, L, W. Let me know if these are worth covering in the future. If you do like these tier lists, we can always circle back to them every month when they get updated, when a new set releases. Take care.